Hello, good evening, Anand.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Sorry, actually, for the 5 minute delay.
No, no problem.
So, just I'll just start sharing the screen and also giving you
Okay.
authorization for recording.
Okay. For you, Sunday, right now?
It's Sunday.
Oh, you got up early.
No, no problem. I'm just allowing recording.
Okay. You won't do exercise?
I do it for 5:15 to 45 minutes till 6 o'clock.
Oh, you got up early then. 5 o'clock you used
Yeah,
to wake up.
I always wake up early. That's actually
Good.
early morning works for me. Late night it's difficult to work. Early morning actually the mind is fresh and you can do.
Okay.
I
Nice.
prefer even for the strategic work for any issues, prefer to work in the morning.
Okay, okay.
I also told my boss and everything. I'm comfortable with this early morning. Okay, so you're able to see my screen.
Yeah, I'm able to.
Okay, so today actually I'll be covering the reporting part and also the remaining part, configuration part from system admin, whatever left. Okay. So next part we'll be going to there is something called automatic processes. Okay. So what is the meaning of these automatic processes? Actually, there are a couple of
No, yesterday what we see is like connector
yes.
in
Yesterday
the
we
job
have
should.
yes. Yesterday actually we have covered the connector parts and also the connector settings we have seen and the related configuration related to the connectors. What are the basic configurations? But actually, all the connectors are not required depending upon your client scenario. Mostly, we will be using 2 to 3 connectors if it is not a very huge project. Which okay. Otherwise, mostly we will be using this user connector SF and this item connector as well as learning history connector. Okay, all other connectors actually I have also not used, but it is also not because we have alternative solution for this. Means so instead of connector, we have our import export tool in SuccessFactor. Okay, that also client can use. That is more easy to follow. Connector actually it is for error handling point of view it is good. But there are easy of doing. So connector mostly we use this 2 to 3 connector frequently, most frequently. Hmm.
Okay.
That part we have covered, and also we have seen yesterday that certification template, like how to design a certificate and all. That part we have seen that. So today actually I'll be moving on to the next part. Actually, the automatic processes. Okay, what are my automatic processes? Okay, so this is actually used. This is you don't have to do any configuration. Okay, so these are all standard. Okay, only thing is what are the things you require? You have to just schedule it. Okay, so what are the different automatic processes? So you can see there is something called assignment profile synchronization. Okay, so there is another thing called catalog price update. There is something called cleanup background jobs. So these are the activities in SuccessFactor which you can schedule it as per your wish. Okay, so all the APM, we call it APM also, automatic process manager. Okay, so these things actually required whenever you need all these processes to be automated. Okay, so just like I'll give you one simple example. Say there is a most frequently we use that. I'll be giving one example. Say there is something called employee enrollment digest. Okay, there is it is a standard offering and it's actually disabled in this system. Okay, so if I want to, what is the purpose of this? So employee enrollment digest means suppose your learning administrator or the supervisor they want that how many people have enrolled in weekly basis. They want a report. Okay, so instead of going to run a report, they can schedule this process. Okay, if I click schedule this process, when I want every week, suppose that if I want, then I will just choose weekly, and on which day I want, whether it's Monday, every Sunday, every Tuesday, or whenever if you want. Suppose I want this report every Monday morning. Okay, I want to see who are the people who have enrolled for a particular course in that particular week. Okay, I'll be scheduling this program. Okay, then I'll be giving a timing, and on at what time I want this employee enrollment digest to be scheduled. Okay, suppose I want, say it's every Monday morning I want, suppose 11 a.m. I'll be giving 11 a.m. here. Then I'll be choosing the time zone, whatever the time zone I'm working, Indian Standard Time Zone, and I'll be giving, suppose, my email ID. Then accordingly, that employee enrollment digest will be coming, and I'll be getting that employee enrollment digest in my system. So you don't need to go and download the report and again and again. So you'll be getting all the summary in your email box. Okay, so now you can see we have scheduled this program. Okay, so this program will run the report and it will be sending that report to you. Okay, this is one of the example. Similarly, we have another process called scheduled offering delivery. Okay, so this, suppose if you are scheduling this program, if this program is already scheduled, okay, so who will be getting this notification? User, as well as, suppose I am telling supervisor. So for a particular, if you want daily basis, means suppose then every people, means all the employee and all the supervisor, they will be getting notification every time. Okay, so they will be getting this schedule offering delivery notification every time. Okay, so we can schedule this program daily, weekly, monthly basis. So there are so many uh, program like learning expiration notification. Some of the learning, suppose it's a no no your it is no obsolete, became obsolete. Okay, so that you can also schedule it, means if you have scheduling, then it will be, you'll be, all the user and supervisor will be getting this notification. And there are two fields you have to remember. Some of the programs we are having something called threshold, another is a reminder period. Okay, so threshold and reminder period, what is the meaning of that? Means threshold means within next 7 days you will be getting, and reminder period, suppose I'm giving 7, means every 7 days you will be getting that reminder. Okay, so maximum setting it is showing the 1,000. So suppose if you are scheduling for next 10 days or 20 days, accordingly you will be getting the notification every 7. Suppose I'm putting here, say let's say it's 10 days. So maximum up to 10 days I'll be getting. Suppose I'm putting a reminder period as a 2 days. So every 2 days I'll be getting a notification. Okay, that is the meaning of this threshold and reminder period of this notification, say learning expiration notification. Okay, so similar kind of settings are available for all this automatic process manager, APM. We call it as APM in shortcut. Okay, so automatic process manager. Similarly, we have something called item scheduling demand. People have raised different requests for items. Okay, so here also you'll be getting notifications. So all kind of notifications or the event, whatever happening in LMS, you can set this automatic processes. Again, it is a process oriented. You have to, before setting or enabling this, you have to explain to the client what is the purpose of these automatic processes, and accordingly they can plan this scheduling of these programs and all. That is the overall idea of what is an automatic processes. This is all kind of job scheduling, means you have to schedule all these jobs whatever relevant to the client. Okay, so then they will be getting notification for that specific event or specific processes. So you understood, right? This is a simple one. Means
Yeah.
all the standard programs are actually
But
scheduled.
how it will be related? Like I just want to do for only one item.
Hmm. No, it is actually, it's not specific to item. Suppose I'm telling it's an item, then for all items, suppose in that particular 7 days, suppose I'm scheduling it's a weekly basis, then in that particular week, how many people have registered, how many people have not, means started learning. Okay, how many means changes happen into those items. That summary, the quick summary, you will be getting in a report format in your email ID.
Okay, but all training also not required, right? So for example, there might be a lot of trainings, okay, but all node need to they give the notification. Like
User will not be getting all the notification. Only the relevant for whatever the relevant for him. Okay, so he will be getting his notification. Actually,
correct, relevant for him only. I'm just telling. Like for me, I have lot of assignment in my learning, okay,
hmm, hmm,
but something like ethics and
hmm,
compliance, that and all is a mandatory, which will
hmm,
have the notification
hmm.
until we complete
Yes, yes,
every quarter.
yes, yes.
Okay, so that way, I mean, you getting my question?
Yes, yes. Means you want to actually the personalized one, right? The personalized, it
Yeah,
will be personalized, and also, but for the admin, actually, it will be coming everything. Means because for the suppose an admin is executing, then admin will be getting all the notification, but the user will be getting only the specified. Suppose you have enrolled for 5 training, only that if any changes happen to those 5 training, only that notification only you will be getting.
how to link that the training?
It is internally SuccessFactors designed it. You don't have to do any configuration. Okay, internally in the product, at the product level only, they have designed, the engineering team, the product engineering team, they have designed. Okay, so this query also was happened whenever I was learning in 3 years back. So I also queried, but actually the SAP told no, actually it is taken care by product engineering team. So they have taken care of this, which will be linked to which one, and this internally they have designed in such a way only you will be getting specific notifications, not all.
Okay,
Okay, so this is actually valid query. It's a good question. So you raised. I was about to tell this. Means one of what are the question means what if we don't have, we want to personalize this thing. So this is a good question, and also I appreciate. And actually, this is also whenever I was learning also the 3 years back. Actually, it's the same query I had. And SAP, I also raised a ticket to SAP that you tell me there is no documentation. If you see go through any documentation, they have not mentioned this thing in
yeah,
SuccessFactors LMS. But the product engineering team, one of the product engineering guy actually he told over a chat that yes, these are the functionality we have, and these are the things we have, and we are linking it in the at the our product level only. That is actually not accessible by any partner or the implementation partner who are doing it. And also you can't only things whatever the admin can do, that only you can do it. But anything how this linking is done, that you can't do any changes. And same is applicable for the notification, whatever say we have seen yesterday, right? Notification template, suppose I want to create a notification template, SAP will allow, but how to link it to an item, it will not allow. That is also a very valid question by different customers and partners also, and that is actually SAP kept it to themselves. So they are telling we have internally designed it, and only product team only can change that in the next product release, whatever they wish. Okay, but the client or the partners also they can't touch it because of to control something. They have kept it to make it some more disciplined. They kept this authorization with them only. So any product new releases comes, means any new enhancement request comes, they keep on changing it. But the entire authorization is with them only. We don't, as a client or customer, we don't have any authorization to do any changes.
okay.
Okay. So this is regarding your automatic processes. Then I'll be coming to connector. We have seen uh, tools. Here we'll be always showing something that is your import and export data, which I was telling, right? There's an alternative to the connectors. Okay, so here you can use this import data functionality. Suppose I'm going to import data. There are two things. One is your import data. Second one is the download template. Similar to your connector templates, here also you can download all the template like user template, instructor template, learning history template. So these are actually a little bit simpler. Means if I go to download, so if I open it, can you see the pop-up or shall I reshare?
It's showing some pop-up.
Okay.
What is it? Import data? That
Import data is similar to the data upload. Means suppose if you want to upload data, instead of using that user connector, suppose you want to do a data migration, right? Suppose,
it's not showing anything now. Okay,
so let
but
me reshare. Let me know once you can see it. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Okay. So for any kind of data migration, either you can use connector, and there is an alternative to connector. We can use this import data. Okay. So if it is little bit simpler to understand. Suppose you are having user ID. This is actually an user data migration. Okay. Suppose you have some thousand users you want to migrate from legacy system to SuccessFactors LMS without using this connector. Also, you can use that. But for the first time, it is recommended always use connector. And for any delta changes happen, then you can, if you want to some update only one single field. Okay. Suppose a job code or job title, only some few things you want to change, then you can use this import file. Okay. So you'll be having fields like user ID. User ID means your LMS user ID. That is your this thing. And here active required. Some there are wherever any fields are mandatory, it is written required in the bracket. Okay. The column B you can see that is a required field. That is an active. Okay. Similarly, the role also a required field. Role the column I, role means actually it's a learner role or administrator role or it is a supervisor role that you will be mentioning here. This is again important and mandatory. And next one is the domain ID, means whether it is a public domain or any client specific domain, that is also a required field here. Similarly, other fields, if I say, another important field is actually the last one, which is your license. There are actually all the custom fields are there. Last one is the license user type. It is not mandatory, but actually there are two types of license in SuccessFactors LMS. You remember, one is your active license, second one is your functional license. Okay. So what is the meaning of this active and functional licensing? All the your internal employees of your organization for whom actually you are implementing, those people will be coming under active license. Suppose you have 2000, suppose you have 10,000 employees. Okay. But for LMS only you are giving only say for 2000 employees who are eligible for LMS, you have bought license only for LMS. Licenses is different from your SuccessFactors platform license. Okay. Suppose you bought SuccessFactors license for 10,000 people, but for LMS only 2000 licenses you have bought. Okay. So then only for those 2000 people you will be active. Okay. You will be making this field as an active license. Okay. So then what is the functional license? So that is actually relevant for people who are external to your organization. So we have seen, right, that external learning site. Okay. So if for those people, we will be maintaining this field as a functional license. Okay. So that is the meaning of this licensing. So license type. Okay. So for the functional user, the usage is like for every month, SAP will check how many people are using that functional license, and actually it is billing is done at monthly level for every month depending upon the usage. SAP will be that the charges are different. Okay. But for active license it is a fixed cost or in subscription basis, like every year or whatever the contract has been signed off with SAP SuccessFactors. Suppose you have a 5 years contract, then accordingly your number of license, active license will be considered. But for functional users, it will be on a monthly basis depending upon the usage. SAP will be charging to the customer. Okay. So there are, this is a bit tricky. Many of the most of the guides they will not be mentioning, but one of the KBA, there is a one KBA that has clearly mentioned this. Okay, so where to use active license and when to use this functional license. It is a tricky also, little bit. Okay. So that you have to maintain in this user template. It is easy to follow compared to that connector file. So for here also active, suppose for all the licensed user, or if you want to make them active, then you can say yes. Suppose if you want to make them inactive, then you have to say no. So yes or no is there. So this is the one of the sample example of this user import file. Okay. So once you filled up this file, then with all the employee data, so then you will be going to the
Hello.
hello. I'm sharing another screen. Can you see? Just I'll let you know. Okay. So you understood, right? That file is simple. It's similar to our BDC or LSMW file in on-premise HCM. Okay. It's a similar file only.
So, like, what is the flow you are doing? I mean, you automatic process you started and import. Why you shifted to import data?
Actually, these are actually the different for migration activities. So automatic process is one of the synchronization that is actually the only for scheduling how to schedule different programs and all. Okay, so that stops there. Means that's a different activity for from a configuration point. Listen, there is no configuration. It's just a process point of view. I explained. Okay. This import data you understood, right? The templates, different
No, it's
templates.
understood, but I'm just it is fluctuating. I mean, uh, here and there you are moving, right? Like connector, automatic process, and coming to tools and import data. Why particularly to import data you went? I don't know.
Oh, no. Actually, these are all the configuration. If I'm explaining the configurations, these are
Okay.
all discrete only. Okay. So finally, means wherever possible, I'm trying to synchronize.
Okay.
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 But whenever I'll be discussing the workbook, you'll be getting the entire flow. So by tomorrow, or day after tomorrow, we'll be starting the workbook. Whenever I'll be explaining the workbook, you'll be getting the flow, exact flow. Means,
Okay. Got it.
okay.
Okay.
So, but the configuration are like that only. But unlike on all other modules, if you say in recruiting, it's a single flow. Okay. But if it's onboarding, also single flow. Okay. But in LMS, actually, there is no single flow. Whenever I'll be explaining this configuration, that's why.
Okay.
Okay. So you have to explain every terms, and I can't skip anything whenever I'm explaining any term, even if they are not directly linked. Okay. So for that reason, actually, I moved to this part.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the after downloading the template, you need to go to the import data. Okay. Suppose in import data also there are multiple options. Record type. A record type means whatever the data you want to upload. If it is a user related or learning history related data or any admin role related data, if you want to upload any question or quizzes, accordingly, whatever the template you have filled, you have to browse that template using this import file option. Then you have to submit it. Okay, then that data will be updated in the system. And suppose if you want to any update, you have already those data existing. If you want to only update few fields, there is an option called update option here, import option. There are add and update. Okay, so update field you'll be using only for the data update. Okay, and for in an Excel sheet, suppose if you want to have any 5 new fields, and also there are 3 fields which you want to update. Okay, so there are suppose 8 records. Then you will be using this add and update field. Add and update this last option. So whatever is applicable whenever you are preparing any data file, so you will be using this either add, update, or add and update. Okay, there are 3 fields here to while doing the import. That is the functionality of entire import data. Similarly, we have something called export data. Export data, actually we have limited options. All fields you can't export, because we have other options for exporting. We have only admin role, question and question quizzes. These are things which we can export. Okay, suppose I'm choosing admin role export. I'll be go to the next. I'll be choosing what are the roles I want to suppose see, and to see suppose select all. So say, then I'll be moving to the next. I don't want to notify. Then I'll be running this job and I will be able to export this data. So it is showing X succeeded. Now I'll be going to the background jobs. I can see this is actually succeeded. This job is scheduled. So whatever the email if you are mentioning, then you will that job means that the file will be exported to you will be getting an email in your email. You will be getting that exported file. So this is the process for your import export functionality. So actually there are some few fields which are actually not relevant also, like legacy com import. This field actually we are not using, so I'm not explaining this thing. Mm. And another thing like attachment utilization. So here you can see the statistics. So in your entire project in the LMS, how much attachment you have used. Okay, the number of attachment is 2 here, and it's basically the whatever the attachment you are using in the entire LMS. Hmm.
So what type of attachment? Any attachment is it?
Attachment which are the supported files like PDF, your SCOM compliant file, okay, or dot Excel. What are the supported existing files? So you have seen right in the if I'll upload in the content, only those attachments you can see, and depending upon your this thing utilization, you will be able to see like how much attachment you will be able to see. So to total 2000 MB maximum you can do that. If more than that, then you have to talk to SAP, like you need more usage. Okay, so here you can see the environment section also. You can see your license, you can download your history, configuration changes. Here also I can see the this is actually kind of storage. You can see the quick guide storage, maximum you can use 10 GB. So we have not consumed anything. So here it is showing total quick guide one. So only quick guide one. I have created only one quick guide. So that is the things here it is showing here. So all these things you can check here, comment directly in the system. This is for an audit point of view, it is required. All the admins may not have this access. Only for people, super admin or who will be responsible for learning audit. Okay, so that those for those people you can give this access, not to all admin. So that is all about here configuration from the system admin side. Now I'll be moving to the reporting part. It is the to so in the reporting part we have more than 130 plus standard reports. Most of the clients they ask for means you have to just explain those reports. What is the means report of this? You can also filter these reports depending upon your category. Like if you want only user related report, content related report, system admin related reports. So generally also the application wise also you can download these reports like user or admin or instructor related reports. You can filter it out here by clicking the submit option. So most frequently used report is the basically the learning history, because that is required for all kind of quarterly. Mostly the clients report to their compliance, like how many people have completed for how many training, number of hours. Basically, they track that. Okay, so learning history is one of the most critical reports. Most of the client ask for that. So I'll be showing that report.
You started reporting, right? Okay.
Yes, I started reporting. Yeah. So this reporting, I'll be coming to this. So there are more than 130 plus. Mostly the client they don't ask. If only they ask is actually if they want anything changes, then you have to use PRD tool, and that is actually technical part. So mostly it is done by SAP, or if you are having your in your team, if you are having any PRD guy, that is actually a analytics tool, BIRT, business intelligence reporting tool. Then you have to take help from that BIRT or PRD reporting guy. That is actually it requires a query, means you should be able to write queries in the reporting, like you have to write business SQL query, basically SQL query. Okay.
Now, what is the qualification for that? I mean, what is the primary one?
Primary one, just I'll be showing one report, you'll be able to understand. Let me open any one of the standard
No, I
reports.
mean like for editing the report or anything,
Ha,
add
ha,
to
ha.
the report.
So
Technical.
to edit anything report, you need the Plateau Report Designer tool. So there is a tool called Plateau Report Designer. Okay. So that tool you should have learned that. That is a prerequisite. For this, actually more purely technical thing. Okay. So there is a something called, if you see here, Learning Report Designer, right? So if I go there, I think I'm not sure whether it is accessible or not here. There is something called Download Report Designer. Okay. So you have to download this tool. Actually, it is a 125 MB. Okay, so from your system also you can download it. Okay, I'm not downloading it here now. So you'll be able to download this tool, but actually it requires some query handling skills. Means you should be able to should have SQL knowledge of to edit any of this query. Mostly the technical people do it if the client is having their own. Otherwise, they ask there is something called premium reporting service by SAP. Okay, so the SAP charges extra for that, and they will be giving whatever the custom fields required. They'll be keep on adding. Okay, any extra field required. Okay, so that you can ask to the SAP. Hmm, Depending upon if it is a very critical report, but most from my experience, whatever the standard reports, it is caters to the requirement. Okay, there are more than 130 reports, and most frequently they use some 10 to 20 reports only, not all 130 plus reports they don't use. Okay, so for each report, if you go, there will be some CSV for it. It will be written that which format is this. Okay, suppose it is a saying say curriculum data report. There are some CSV report. I'll just download one report. I'll be showing you how it looks like. And also you can schedule this report. Okay, like just like if you want to run this report immediately, you can download it. Otherwise, there is a scheduling option also, like similar to APM. If you want to schedule this report every week, okay, the client wants, then they can also schedule this report. There is a schedule job option for most of the reports. Okay, so in your email ID, you will be getting this report instead of coming and downloading this report every day. If you want daily, then it will be sending daily. Every month if you want, then as per your wish, the way you schedule this report will be delivered in your email box. Hmm. That is the beauty of this report, unlike all other reports in other modules. So suppose I'm going to run this report. Also, I can suppose if you want to a specific curriculum, you want to see, you can filter. There are filtering option here only for a specific curriculum. If you want to run this report, then you can also run this report. Okay, suppose I want to run this report for say all. So I have to click just yes. Do you want to proceed? Say yes. Then while generating this report, also if you don't want to wait, there is an option called email when complete. Okay, so then automatically that report can be delivered in your email. Okay, I think it is a very long report. So there is another option I'll be showing you, that is actually outside LMS. So there are two ways of reporting. One is your PRD, which is technical in nature. That's the Plateau Report Designer. Okay. So there is another reporting. You must be knowing this ORD. That's the Online Report Designer. That is pretty much flexible compared to this PRD. You don't need any technical knowledge. Okay. That also you can do in your SuccessFactors platform.
Okay. So the email ID of the admin should come from EC or from the import data template?
Yes, yes. And also while reporting also you can mention, like here also there is an option, and on an ad hoc basis, suppose if you want to schedule this report, a specific reporting, because all reports may not be required for all people. Okay, so or by default this ID will be coming from the admin, but you can also change this. Okay, suppose you want Madan wants this report to be delivered every time. Okay, so you can also override that your email ID, and you can mention this report your email ID so that it will be delivered to you only. So accordingly, you can change this reporting options.
So how to assign the admin role for this
Reporting?
guy? No. I mean, now Sujata Das is the admin, right?
Yes.
How she or he has been assigned to assign as an admin?
Okay, so that we have discussed during the admin management. If you see the admin management, there are different admin ID as well, right? So if I go to admin ID here, you will be able to see S Das actually is an admin here. Okay, he is also an user. He is also an admin. Okay, if I go to the admin section, there are assigned roles here. If I go to the assigned role, so here I can see there is a all role. There is another role called report developer. Okay, so she is able to access both. Means all the super admin roles she is having, including the report developer role also. Okay. So here you can come and see all these which are the roles you can filter, like if you, what are the roles if you want to give, only those roles you will be able to see that. Okay, so I
Okay.
think this is a very long report, so it will be delivered in this in her email ID. So it is showing the report exceeded the maximum size. Okay. So in that case, you have to filter or you have to increase the size of this reporting. You'll be getting
No,
that report.
I have one question. Like
Yeah,
after
please.
you log into SuccessFactor, right?
Hmm.
I mean, you log into SuccessFactor, it will immediately displays business executive suite, correct?
Yes,
Application.
yes.
Okay, from there, after you click the learning administration, like admin center, then
Hmm.
after you click the administration, it entering to Plateau system,
Yes, yes.
correct?
Yeah.
So in the business executive itself, the admin has been defined, right? For business
No, no,
administration.
no. Actually, that is defined in here only. Means, yes, there are two ways. In RBP also we have defined. Okay, and there is a role-based permission. So just let me, I'll go back to once again, which I have shown earlier, where exactly it is defined. In the RBP, if I go, manage permission roles, there are two sections. I think this role is, this ID is not having to access that role.
Okay.
Okay, I think authorization is not there. But in the manage permission role, there is an option. There are one is user role, one is an admin role. So there are different modules, right? Learning or your PMGM. So you just go to the learning and the admin role. If I tick it, then system will understand that these are the people and also the target user. Okay. So in that, if a target user I have mentioned, these are the people, set of people who will be able to access the learning admin as well. Okay. So only those people will be having getting these options. Okay. Whenever they are going to the, they'll be able to search this learning admin. Okay. All other normal users, they will not be having this access. Only suppose 20 or 30 people in the organization who will be having access to this learning admin. Only those people will be able to navigate. Okay. So that is the point, navigation between your Bijex to your L&D, your learning administration team. And that
Mhm.
configuration where this single sign-on is done, I'll be discussing tomorrow or day after tomorrow, whenever you will be think. Whenever you
Okay.
will be discussing the workbook, you'll be getting an idea that where that is a one-time implementation activity. So where the configuration is done between the integration between Bijex and your LMS, that I'll be discussing whenever I'll be starting with provisioning. Till now, I have
Okay.
not shown you provisioning because this user ID is not, they have not, she is not given this provisioning access. This I'll be showing my provisioning and I'll be showing you where exactly the configuration is done. This is actually some 3 to 4 fields. You have to tick box there and you have to maintain the URLs, means all the client specific URL, and you have to mention that. That
Okay.
is the point where the integration is done. That is a one-time activity. Okay.
Okay.
Hmm. So reporting part, you will be able to, you download when explore this reporting, the standard reporting. There are more than 134 reports. Okay, you just now see and any question, because it's a standard, we don't have to do any changes in this reporting. If any changes required, that is taken care by, as I have told. You have to be an Plateau report designer consultant in your team. Otherwise, you can directly tell to the SAP. They will be charging extra for that. Any customization is required. Okay. So mostly standard reports caters to the requirement of this thing, people. And next I'll be coming to the next second level of reporting, that is ORD, that is your online report designer. I'm not sure whether this tool is accessible by here or not. Yes, it is there. Okay. So there is something, another reporting tool here. It is applicable for all modules. Here also we can do custom reporting or any ad hoc reporting if you want. It is little bit easier, but there are limitations also in this report. You can't do any cross domain reporting. Like you can't, suppose you are doing a reporting only for if you want to combine fields from employee central, PMGM and LMS in one report, that we can do. The cross domain reporting is not supported. Only whatever fields you are having in a particular module, only that kind of reporting you can do it. Yeah. Okay. So that is the limitations. And but it is compared to PRD, that's a Plateau report design, it is little bit easier. And if you go to report center, you click new, then it will be asking for what kind of reporting you want. Whether you want, can you see the pop-up?
Yep.
Okay. There are three things. One is a report table format, or you want a dashboard, or if you want a tile or pie chart. Okay. Suppose I'm selecting it, I want it report in table format. I'm just choosing this report table. Then it will ask how do you like to data to be structured. Okay, so it is a single domain only, because cross domain, multi domain, it is not yet supported. We don't use that. What data would you like to start with? Okay, so it will ask from which module you want this reporting. Okay, suppose I'm saying LMS, so there is something called learning activities. Okay, or learning activities historical. So I'll be choosing those specific data. Suppose I'm choosing select options here. So here you can first you can describe your report. So there are multiple steps here. Suppose you want to say test LMS learning test report. Then I will save it. Once it is saved, you can target people like who will be able to the refining criteria means you have to define those people who will be getting this report. So here you can see there are multiple options. Can you see the pop-up? Define team pop-up.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So who will be getting this report? So whether this admin automatically SDAS is coming, otherwise whoever logged in a user. Okay. Suppose if you want to find some another people who will be taking care, then you just search that employee and you can mention that employee. So those people will be getting, and how the reporting will be looking like, whether it is only the learning administrator related report or HR report. Okay, so the kind of reporting type also you can mention it. And there is another option, include inactive users. Okay, so mostly the report will be containing the who will be for the current employees or the active employees. If you want to include, say, all the people who have already left the organization, if you want to include those people also, then you can choose this option, include inactive users. Okay, so after that you will just click OK. So now I have done the reporting scope I have defined. Now I'll be moving to the column section. So what are the columns? So how to select columns? Okay, so here I can see what are the columns I want in my report. Okay, suppose I want, say, learning activities from my catalog. Okay, so what are the fields I need in my column? Okay, like I need employee details, due date I want. Okay, so what are the fields required? You have to define it here. Completed date. Okay, these are the fields I want in my one column. Suppose I want to say another, say, course related report. I want some field from course. Okay, say I want learning activity, or say description. What is that learning activity related field that I have chosen here? Similarly, I want something related to certificate for that particular course. So there is, at present there is no field. Okay, so there is no field from here. Similarly, from employee profile, that is coming from employee central to your LMS. Okay, so this employee profile is regarding your all the user data which is already exported in your LMS. Only those fields like username, first name, last name. So this report is very much flexible. What are the fields required? The user can go and choose. So every time they will not be coming. Just like in a PRD, if you want any changes or if you want to add some field, they have to talk to the developer. Okay, but here you don't need any developer help. Okay, so all the functional consultant as well as the admin, they can pick and choose. Okay, so what are the fields required? They can go and here, and they will be choosing. So what are the fields they require? So then once it is the selection has been done, I'll be clicking this done. Okay, so once it is done, then you can see there are, now I have chosen 11 columns here. Okay, so 11 employee due date, completed date. So this is the structure of that report. The basic structure: description, username, first name, last name, gender, human resource manager. So what are the things are required? I have chosen this field here. Okay, suppose if you want to rearrange, there is a rearrange options here. Okay, you can rearrange, like you want this column, suppose I want say first name, username, little bit I want up. Okay. So I'll just drag and drop. Okay. It is as easy as that. Okay. So I'll choose first name to comes little bit fast in the column number 3. This is a simple drag and drop, relatively much easier compared to Plateau Report Designer. First name, last name, learning activity. Suppose I want after last name. Okay. Then what other things are required? I'll be putting in the same order. There is an option to rearrange all these columns. Okay. Then I'll just click OK here. Okay. Then I will save it once again. So every time you change, it's not you click this save option is there. Then I'll be moving to configuration. So what are the configuration options are here? So generally, in the configuration section, we define. These are actually technical fields like data type configuration. You can go and see it here. If I click individual, suppose you want timestamp to be in the report instead of date, you can choose the timestamp. Okay. So similarly, for the completed date also, if you want detail timestamp, then you can choose that. So this is some basic configuration are there. Okay, that if you want, you can change it. Otherwise, it's not mandatory. Okay. So this is not mandatory things. You can do that. So once it is done, again you can save it. And suppose if you want to do some filter, okay, so fifth option is the filter option. So what are the filtering criteria? You can add a filter group here. So there are multiple grouping refining criteria. Okay, so you can filter whatever the things are required for you. Once it is done, so you can generate this. Before that, you can preview how the report will be looking like. So at the end, towards the end user, the report will be looking. At present, I have not selected any data, so it will be looking like this: employee username, first name, last name, due date. So before releasing this report, you can see and preview the report from here. Suppose I want to generate, then I have to click. There is a generate option. Okay, there is an options here. Just generate. So how you want this report? There are 4 possible formats like CSV, Excel, PDF, PPT. So whatever the format you need, you can generate that report in that particular format. So I have chosen an Excel sheet. So I can see this format. I'll be able to download the report format. This is my sample which report. At present, I don't have any data. So this is actually the standard, means you have customized as you wish. Okay, the ORD report who you have designed it. Okay. So similarly, this is a basic way to process to follow whenever you are creating any custom reporting. So this is regarding your reporting. Then I'll be coming back to, if you go back to reporting center, then again you will be able to see this learning test report here, right? So now my reporting is ready, but here there is if you go to the action section, there will be an option like if you want to share the report, if you want to rename the report, if you want to schedule this report, all these options will be coming once you save the structure. Now we have defined the structure of the report. Okay, now I'll show you how to edit the report. Means if you want to run a query, you can also run a query in this reporting. And the query, you can do it for any kind of run this query for all the data sets available. What are the data sets you have? You can run that report for any query. I think they have not given this option. Let me check. Otherwise, I will show you in my system that reporting how it will be looking like. Just give me 2 minutes. I'll be logging into my system and I will be showing the reporting.
Okay.
Can you see my new screen? Another.
Yeah, I'm seeing your new screen now. Yep.
Okay, okay. So here actually I have
No, no,
designed.
no, no. It's the old screen only. Sujata
Okay,
does.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Let me so new share. Where exactly this is actually production environment. I have to show because to show you, I should not ideally do that. So here actually I am going to. Can you see now?
Yep, I'm.
Okay. So now I am going to show you which I designed recently. Last week I have designed a custom report for my client. I'll be showing you how you can run that report and how you can edit the query. It is taking some time to load. Hmm. So I have created one ORD report for LMS. So I'll be going to the action section. Then there is an edit option here. Actually, the future of reporting is basically SAP Analytics Cloud. So most probably in the November, December, they will be releasing that. And slowly, they will be decommissioning this PRD and ORD. But till now, officially, they have not yet announced. But mostly, the once SAP Analytics Cloud will be coming, that is more intuitive and unified reporting system. Okay, so you don't have to struggle this much for any simple report. In my current project, actually, the client didn't like LMS reporting, so actually they are using Power BI. Those Power BI
Okay.
reporting tool is very interactive and very means it is easy to follow. So they have asked us to integrate LMS to Power BI. So that is a huge task. That is lined up for the next month.
Okay.
So okay, so here actually the how the report you can there is an option called edit query. Okay, so here you can query means whatever the you can design your query in the reporting. So whatever the data you want, you can fetch relevant data. Okay. So can you see the pop-up?
No, pop-up means like, yeah, you're clicking the
Component.
component one.
Component,
Yeah.
yes, component chart. Yeah. I think it didn't come. It is loading. So here you can see there is two options, add and edit. Okay, so if you want to edit something, you can edit here. So I have chosen these three fields only: user, item, and learning history. When I have designed the structure of that report, okay, so only those relevant fields will be coming. So I've chosen these fields. So if I want to suppose select more fields, suppose if I the client wants, if I go to user section, there are fields. Suppose then user related means LMS user related fields. Whatever the fields if I want on an ad hoc basis, then I can choose like all the suppose I'm selecting all the fields will be appeared in my reporting. Okay. What are the fields required? Here also I can on the fly on the real time I can select. So I have chosen 92 out of 92, all the columns I've chosen. Similarly for items also, if I want all the columns to be featured in my report, I'll be selecting all. So what are the fields required and you can directly pick and choose from here. Same is applicable for learning history. So all the fields related to the learning history will be coming here. Then you have to choose what are the fields required from the learning history. So after choosing also, there is an option to change the column. Okay, so I'll be showing that in next 2 minutes. So it is loading. So for a single user, actually, I have filtered it. So here in manage filter section, also you can filter. You can give multiple filter options. There is something called filter designer. Suppose if you want to show report only for a particular department, okay, instead of a specific user. So there are multiple options here. So you can choose whatever the domain. Suppose you want domain specific report or country specific reporting. Okay, so you have to just choose. We can choose those fields, and you have to just select that in the reporting values. So I have chosen a particular this thing. I'm choosing OK here. So then I can see, come back to this reporting here. Here also there is an option, like suppose if you want some fields to be coming as a first or second column, you can drag and drop, do that field. It is as simple as that. On the real time also, you can change that. Automatically this field will be moving to that particular field. Okay, can you observe that? So I've just removed just columns. It's just simple drag and drop. Okay. So after doing this, there is an option here, like to export option. You can just click that export option, then the entire report will be downloaded to your system. Okay. So this is how you can run and design any report. Okay. So on the fly or in a real time, depending upon the live data. Okay. So here also I can see the live data section. I can see what are my live data. So at present, I have chosen all this LMS related data. So all other modules actually they are deactivated. As I've told you, once it is activated only for one module, means you will be able. There is no cross domain reporting. Okay, you can't add fields from PMGM to LMS. Okay, so it is specific to one module only. So that is the overall concept of how to create a report structure, how to design, how to add query, how to manage this filter, how to drag and drop, arrange, rearrange these columns. So this is actually a good reporting tool as of now. But PRD, as I have told you, that requires an additional skill set. That is, you need normal SQL also. It will not work. There is something called ANSI SQL. Okay, ANSI SQL. That skill set, if you are having, then you can edit or run this query. Because my client is having their own internal IT team who are trained in ANSI SQL, so they are able to create those custom report. But mostly they are not using, because whatever standard reports it suffice them. So that is for today's session.
Okay.
So tomorrow onwards we'll be moving to the flow. Means tomorrow we'll be having a break, or you want on Monday onwards?
No, we'll do that tomorrow. I am not
Okay.
going anywhere.
Okay, not going anywhere, right? So just I asked
Yeah.
because it's a Sunday for you.
No,
So-
no, I'm not going anywhere.
Okay. So tomorrow miss today's 9th session. So tomorrow I'll be directly jump into the provisioning part, and also we'll be starting the workbook, which already
Okay.
I have opened today. I was about to start, but actually I will not able to start today, because if I start, I can't finish. So we'll be taking 2 days completely for the entire implementation workbook and provisioning. Provisioning is simple. Half an hour I can explain what are the things you have to. That's the one-time activity. Okay. And for this workbook, your implementation workbook, I will take 2 days. Means what are the fields again? If you have any queries, I'll be resolving that. And also I'll be sharing this the remaining documentation today.
No, you're not sharing. I'm not
No, I'm
sharing.
not sharing anything. I just stopped sharing.
Okay.
So
No,
just
some pop-up came down. Okay.
No. I just finished today's session, so I'll be sharing all the remaining documents by today. So you can go through and start exploring. And after the 2 sessions, so if you have any queries, we'll be keeping 1 session for your
So how
doubt.
many assignments you're going to assign to me today?
Today, actually, the remaining, because almost we have completed everything from the LMS admin side and the user side. Okay. Only so whatever, if you feel anything I missed out, or if I found anything I missed out, tomorrow I'll be closing all the remaining things. Okay. Then we will be moving to the provisioning part. Okay. So it is around another 3 set of assignments, each having another 20 each, 20 to 20, 10 each. Okay. So total will be 100 plus assignments in a bunch of 5 bundle. Okay. So that we'll be getting. And also previously I have also shared that implementation guide that is more than 1,000 pages. That is required. That is not
That is
possible
Excel.
to go through means in each and every item. Even I have not followed that implementation guide in my implementation. Whatever the relevant section, I use that, and the remaining part I have skipped that. And also I'll be giving an overall idea of the commerce functionality. Means most of the clients
What functionality?
commerce. In the e-commerce functionality, there is an LMS. So that is most of 90% of the clients, they are not using that. Okay. So if you are actually an educational institute like IITs in India or any other institute, if you're selling your courses to outside people, then you will be using that. Only I'll be explaining the theory conceptual part. And in this system that is not configured, okay. So that I'll be also covering tomorrow. And we'll be taking 2 days for the configuration workbook dedicatedly for that. And after that, 1 day for your doubt clearance if you want now. Otherwise, at any point of time, you can come back and you can, there's no hard and fast rule that after that this session completion, you will not be able to ask me question. No, that's not like that. You can WhatsApp me. I'm also in the PDC, that is a partner delivery community. I'm active there. And also, if you have any queries, then you can also just ping me and I'll be able to solve your queries.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So, and also you, while you're sending the assignment, you send me the connector in that document you said.
Yes, yes. I'll be sending that because you are not, this system is not allowing you to download. I have also seen that some restriction they have built. Okay. So I'll be sending that document as well.
Okay. No, the Excel sheet yesterday is showing, right? Not
Yes,
Excel
yes.
sheet.
That download zip file for the connector, right? The connector workbook also I'll be sharing. There are 3 workbooks.
Yeah. Workbook only. No, not workbook. Like the
Template,
the
connector template.
template, the description you said, no, that
Yes,
SMTP.
yes.
That,
SFTP and all. I'll be sharing that.
the
That
detailed
document.
workbook.
That document I'll be sharing with you. Okay. No issue. I'll be
Okay.
sharing that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
That's
you then.
all. Have a good day. Bye.
Have a good day. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah. Thanks you. Thanks you. Thanks. And same to you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. 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 Bye.